I've
Yeah.
talked about this a lot with people. Like sometimes I think, oh, that's really cool, but wait, is it only cool because it's novel? If I get used to this enough, we'll just be like, it's sort of bland, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes it's, when you're trying to decide whether something is quote good, unquote, you can be sort of blindsided by novelty. But at this point, I actually value novelty quite a bit in general. So
Yeah, it's important. It's an important element.
certainly attracted to it. But it's the whole thing of like, now I love hearing out of tune middle school bands, you know what I mean? Whereas before I'd be like, oh, that's not supposed to be like that. It's so harsh. It's, and now it's like, it's beautiful. It's zen.
Interesting. Sometimes I like that and sometimes I think it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's all relative. Sometimes it is terrible. Sometimes it depends on your mood. Sometimes it just depends on your attitude or whatever. Just sort of like accepting the pitch space, accepting the frequencies that are coming through. Maybe they're not intentional. Maybe they could be more beautiful, but there's something kind of cool about what actually just happens when, kids barely can play their instruments or trying to make sound. And sometimes it's just as beautiful as, segment of a spectral piece.
I think Charles Ives would agree with you.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think in terms of students or people that that you'd like to have try stuff, then I think it's more of a serious conversation as opposed to just an audience or whatever. Then I think you can get more excited. I think what you do is great because you're such a good explainer.
Well, thank you.
And you know it so deeply. So I think it's, that's perfect role for you is to kind of show people that, look, there's a lot to this. It's not necessarily that hard. It's fun. You can make sense of it. It's not nonsense. It's
right. It's not nonsense. That's very important for people who think that, microtonality is just doing random things.
Some people probably just lump it in with, serialism or, music where there's not a clear beat, just highly complex music, and that their brain is giving them sort of panic signals maybe when they first hear it,
right.
And they're shutting down instead of sort of embracing like the possibility that, maybe they could get used to it or get to like it or get to understand it on some level.
There are some people who just have like a lot harsher reactions to dissonance in general.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Than I do. It seems that whenever that happens to me, I'm really drawn into the sound if it's really fascinating, especially if it's something that I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, one thing with students that, we routinely do is sort of ask them to consider the fact that someone made this music that you maybe initially really find distasteful, but someone made it with intention probably. And so what's up with that? Like, what were they thinking about? Why did they make this choice? It's not just that they have bad ears or something, or that they're trying to piss you off. They're probably not trying to, well, maybe they're trying to piss you off sometimes, but
maybe a little bit,
get into someone else's headspace, like, why did they make this art? There must be something interesting about it for them. And that can apply to any kind of difficult art, I think.